Hi, my name is Darren Hartwell, and on behalf of the National Tractor Pullers Association, I would like to welcome and congratulate Craig Corzine and Steve Bollinger from the Money Pit Screwed Up Pulling Team, 2018 NTPA Light Unlimited Grand National Champions. Craig, congratulations.
Thank you.
Steve, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, this is the first Grand National Championship for both of you guys, correct?
It is.
All right. Awesome.
We came close a couple times, or once especially, and then this year too with the trucks. And back when Steve and I were doing the tractor thing, you know, got close with the mod deal, real close one year, and unlimited once. And so this, yeah, first for both of us, it was pretty awesome.
Okay. So, Steve, how long? I know you guys pulled Allisons for a long, long time. Tell us a little bit how long you've been pulling and.
Wow, I've been around. I started my neighbor. I was 9 years old, and the D clerks back in Illinois.
Oh yeah.
And they ran the Allisons, and that was in the early '70s is when they started. So of course I had to go. Well, it was 1985. I finally bought my first one off of them, and Tom built a new one. And ever since then, you know, once you get hooked in the pulling sport, and here we are still today doing it. It's the Allisons is my heart, but Craig's getting me turned a little bit. The old Hemis are nice to work on compared to the Allisons, I can tell you that.
Yeah, one of the first times we had an issue with the tractor a year ago, and Steve we talked several times, of course, how easy to work on. I would be the same way. You don't really know it and understand it until you have it actually hands-on. We had our first issue, and we tore that thing down to nothing and back together in one day and had it fired that night. And Steve was, I can't believe it. This is awesome. And we don't even have to have a cherry picker to pull the head off, you know. So
right.
It has been, I mean, I blame Steve all the time. It's his fault that we're involved with pulling like we are, because he put me in the seat years ago, and it's led us to what we are today, and it's a phenomenal partnership, and it's a blast. We absolutely are having a blast doing it.
Right, that's great. Now you guys have been friends a long time. How did that get started? And
well, of course, I knew Steve. He's older than me by what, 15 years?
Yeah.
Not quite. No, I'm giving him a hard time there, but he's a little older than me, and I always looked up to Steve, and I started going to some of the pulls, and Tommy, actually, Steve's brother, came through. I grew up showing cattle.
Okay.
And they came through. He and his family came through the Illinois State Fair, and I was babysitting the cattle we had there, the Angus show heifers that we had, and a steer, and Tommy says, hey, you ought to go with us next week to Bowling Green. And I was like, what's Bowling Green? And he says, well, and I'd been to a few pulls, but nothing like that. And of course, went to Bowling Green the first time, and the rest was history. I mean, it started going more and helping Steve work on them, and then he was nice enough to put me in the seat, and it was all over.
Nice. That's great. So, Money Pit Screwed Up. Where does that name come from? I mean, I think I know where the money pit part comes from, but
yeah. Well, if I don't want to do all the talking, but it's pretty funny. John Gerhold, who also has been heavily involved with us and a great friend of both of us with the tractor deal, he and wife Ashley were working on a debut article for NTPA on the tractor, and I think maybe we were even in the field, and we were talking on the phone. We're like, we screwed up Money Pit, you know. We put screw blowers on it, and we screwed it up. We took the Allisons off.
And everybody's telling us,
you screwed up.
What? You took those Allisons off and put Hemis on it?
And the tractor is Money Pit. That's all we ever call it, but the name just stuck with everybody else. You know, it just kind of went along, and so it's all good.
That's great. So you guys had 4 wins on the season. Craig, you got the first win of the year up in Tomah. And then Steve, you got a win in Fort Recovery.
Yep.
Then Craig, you were driving again at Mount Sterling. And then Steve, you got the final win of the year in Hudsonville.
Yeah.
So how do you guys decide who gets to drive?
It's just a toss-up whenever we get the poll. About an hour before, well, what do you think? He says, I'll go ahead, and the next time, you go ahead. And it depends on what's going on. It's like I've been doing it for so long. I still like to do it, but you know, like Tomah, Bowling Green, we only had 1 hook there, and I go, hey, get your hooks behind it, you know, and that's and that's what it comes down to more than anything.
Right. Due to the rain, one session of each was rained out, unfortunately.
Yep.
So now, Craig, I know you're pretty easygoing about giving up the seat. We were at a Grand National and Regional National event, Wauseon, Ohio, a couple weeks ago. You were scheduled to drive the 2-wheel drive. What happened there?
Well, I was. I like to, no disrespect to Ash, because she does phenomenal, but she doesn't have quite the mechanical, obviously, that I do. And so I like to get in her truck every once in a while and just feel it, make sure there's nothing going on there. And so I was all set to drive, and she was good with that until we got there, and she's still new enough at the seat. She really likes it, and I'm like Steve. I'm kind of at the point where I almost get more enjoyment out of watching our vehicles come down the track, whether that be the tractor or the trucks. That is to me is as good or better than being in the seat. So I'm the same. She really wanted to drive that night, and I was way good at that. I'm like, fine, that's great. And so we went back and forth, kind of like Steve and I go back and forth, like, yeah, whatever,
Yeah.
So it all works out, and we all take turns,
And the results that night?
and she won, and she did a perfect job in the seat, and she still needs lap time. She's doing really, really well in the seat. Hell, we both need, shouldn't be talking like that, I guess, but we both need seat time in the tractor too, because it's different.
Yep.
It's just different.
It'd be nice to have 3, 4, 5 more hooks. So hopefully we get a couple more tractors out there. We'll pick up some more hooks.
Right. So the challenge, one of the challenges is you guys ended up campaigning your 2 two-wheel drive trucks, and then a truck for Terry Joe stock and this tractor. How do you keep it all? Keep it all going?
I've told several people it made it really good for me because Steve's shop's air conditioned. So I would work on the trucks in my shop in the morning, and then we'd go work on the tractor in the afternoon. It was really odd.
Nice, that works.
Are you coming over this afternoon? Yeah, we'll do this afternoon. I'm working over here in the morning.
But it was a load. It's a load, and it takes a team effort. And obviously, Steve and John, everybody helped hardcore on the trucks too, and that's what it took. And I'm really glad Steve's been driving one of the trucks. Terry some, and has driven mine in the past. So it takes a team effort. It doesn't matter if you've got one vehicle or 10. It takes a team for everything going on with it, and everybody has a little different perspective on stuff, and you get a little different set of eyes on what's happening with the vehicle or the track or the sled and things like that. So.
Right. So with everything, what would you guys say this championship season? What was the biggest challenge?
Oh, the main thing is finding that combination and getting it right. And last year we knew we were close. And we didn't change a whole lot, but the few little changes that we made for this year, and it's a whole different tractor, and just hoping we can keep doing it.
That's great. That's great. So, getting 4 wins, each winning twice. What would you say is the highlight of the season?
Well, obviously winning the championship, the last one, but that wasn't the way we wanted to finish it. So that was kind of a bittersweet night. For me, I felt like probably Tomah, just to get that monkey off our back. We got that first win, and we built the tractor knowing that we had a good piece. I mean, Steve had an unbelievably great tractor there, and we felt like we had a really good motor combination up front. But bringing that all together, like Steve just said, finding that combination. So I just remember, I was lucky enough to be on the seat at Tomah, and I just remember after we went by the leader stick, it was just like, that was awesome. Yeah. It's like, yes, we finally got that off our back, So absolutely. That was probably for me, but it's tough when there's only a few of us running. One guy can mess up, but he's not real far back.
Right.
So getting that lead and holding it was really a huge accomplishment.
Absolutely, because you guys seized that early lead and didn't give it up all season. So that's huge. Mm-hmm. So this is your time to name names. Who would you guys like to thank?
Oh, man, where do you start, huh?
Well, John Gearhold.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've been talking about John, but he comes along and he helps us back home. We have 3 single Allisons we run in the state.
Oh, wow.
They've got one, and I've got 2 that we run in the state. My boy runs one of those. John runs one, and then he's got teammates, Kurt Meisenheimer and Jeff Brown. And we got a lot going on.
Yeah,
They're not as much maintenance on those, but it still takes every day. You gotta
There's always maintenance, and someone's got to get them to the pole and drive them and stage them.
And of course, our families. I mean,
this is
everybody's
the time
behind us
to name their names and
Yep.
give them a shout out here.
Yeah, sure. Well, obviously, wife Ashley and all our kids. Everybody's just such a huge part of it. My brother-in-law Adam, he's helps, and Bob Miner, they helped get us in the direction on the engine thing. But Adam especially just really helps me if it's something that we can't do, that he helps out onto. And
that's Adam Custer at MBR.
Yes, and the in-laws have been fantastic, huge support group as well, always, and Larry, as everybody knows, father-in-law Larry, and he's always on us about our tires. And
You need to grind tires. Well, you're grinding tires all the time.
yeah, so we've been trying to get him to work on some 30.5s.
But he won't.
Yeah,
He can't even do that.
yeah, he likes going around those little tires for some reason.
Right.
But especially when Craig was gone to Brandenburg and I was at Fort, kind of my first time out with it, kind of like just me, myself. Being a little green yet, it's nice to have Adam. And Adam was always there. I could always step back, questions. So
yeah,
it takes a lot of people. And
Yeah,
it worked out pretty
definitely,
good.
Definitely.
So
Well, congratulations, guys. I know you've been at this
Yeah.
a long time, worked very hard, and the way you represent yourselves, your team, and our sport is unparalleled. Just the professionalism, and you guys do a great job. So
well,
congratulations.
thank you for that. Thank you for that.
thank you.